PlayStation.
Welcome to the land of long-lived play where greatness is always waiting. Welcome to the PlayStation experience. It is I, your boy, Dad Ninja Dev, and I am joined by my main man down in Florida, Mr. Delvin Cox. How goes it this fine Mother's Day morning?
I am doing great. So far, I've gotten 0 mothers pregnant. So that's a good start.
Good job.
Yeah.
Good job.
Proud of myself.
Great start. As you should be. As you should be. It's a great way to start off Mother's Day, making sure we're not getting them pregnant. Good job. Good job. I'm also joined, as always, by the Secretary of the Spoil, the Platinum Princess, Miss Hayley Nicole Miller. How are you this morning?
Tired. I think we're all tired, actually.
Yes.
Accurate.
Yes, indeed. I am sleepy. I feel like I got good sleep last night, but I'm still just a little groggy, just waking up here. It's much earlier for me than it is for y'all. But still.
Yeah.
Delvin, you didn't go to bed till way too late. I'm surprised you're not falling face first into your microphone at this point.
That's what the Dr. Pepper cream soda's for.
Still mad I can't try that. It's not
I know. That's why I put it in front of the screen for product placement. Maybe we'll get some sponsors and they can send you some Dr. Pepper cream soda. That fantastic taste.
I'm sure it won't make it through customs. I'm like, no. This is Canada. We can't have nice things out here.
Exactly.
Hey, we have Kinder Surprise eggs, and I'm pretty sure y'all don't have those because children.
What?
We do have those. My kids love them.
I know.
What is it called?
I know that New York doesn't because Kinder Surprise eggs because children will swallow the chocolate without taking the plastic out of the chocolate.
I don't know what the hell that is.
You don't know
It's these weird little.
No, that sounds like a Final Fantasy monster.
It's a chocolate egg.
Indeed.
That in the center of it has like a little plastic. Also, I would guess call it an egg. It looks like a pill capsule, but when you take it apart, there's a toy inside that you get to build. So.
Yeah. So. I don't know if they don't do it that way in Canada, but out here, the egg actually splits in two. One side is the toy, one side is the chocolate. So,
I mean,
yeah.
both, like the plastic thing is in the chocolate. Both chocolates split open, but usually, my brother, great example here, would just bite whole ass into the top of the chocolate and drop the egg out, and then eat the rest of the chocolate.
That whole concept sounds like a bad idea.
Why do you
really
think
you have to see it in? You have to see it in process. I mean, I feel like it's impossible to really, like, you gotta open both sides. One side has chocolate, one side has a toy. So if he's just biting to the top, that's some stuff right there.
I mean, I don't think my brother's bought a Kinder Surprise egg in like 7 years because the toy is meant for like little children, but the chocolate's still good. So.
Yeah, my kids never eat the chocolate. They just want the toy. So I don't know how good the chocolate actually is. I've never had it. Never tried it.
I mean, it's good. It's great. It's like chocolate. It's chocolate, like dark chocolate with white chocolate. So it's great.
And how much does
that would
cost?
Explain.
Like $1.75 usually.
Yeah, they're not expensive.
Yeah, they're like $2 at most.
That toy can't be good. What toy can you?
The toy isn't special.
The toy is not special, but that's why you buy it, is to get the toy with the chocolate.
Yeah.
a
We
2-for-1
usually get them
deal.
for the kids on Easter. They
Okay.
like them. They're happy whenever they get them. It's like, oh, Kinder Surprise. Oh, what's my toy? And then I have to put them together for them, and they get excited, and then the toy ends up being broken under my foot 3 hours later. So
Okay, that makes sense now.
because
Yeah.
they've forgotten
I mean,
about it and I've
I-
stepped on it.
I mean, also, like, the plastic's not exactly great. Like, they're gonna break. They're not meant to last. So,
Yeah. Kinder Surprise. Much like this episode, you never know what you're gonna get.
Yeah.
All right. So let's just get right into it. How has your week been, Haley? Or how has your 2 weeks been? Because we've been gone for a week. We took some vacation time because me and Delvin were not around, and Haley didn't want to record a solo show. So
no, I don't think talking to myself for an hour is productive. I do that enough when playing Resident Evil. But before we get to Resident Evil, last weekend, I was kindly provided a code for Skate City by Papa Gendico. And I actually really enjoyed it. You can definitely tell because this game had previously released on like Apple Arcade, so it was coming to consoles now. You can definitely tell it was built with like the the iOS interface, but it translates well to console. It comes with 3 areas: Los Angeles, Oslo, and Barcelona. They're all very distinct from each other, which is great as well. Um, and I like that the moveset is essentially skate, but on a much easier scale. Like instead of having to hold the stick in a direction and twist to do like say a pop shove it, you just push the stick sideways. Boom, pop shove it. You pull the stick up, you do an ollie. Pull the stick down on the right stick, you do an ollie. It's very easy to get used to, but difficult to not bail everywhere. In fact, there's actually a trophy to bail 500 times. um, I actually, I like the fact that there's like endless skate, which is just like there's no timer, just skate at your own pace, get the hang of the controls. Hey, there's goals you can do while doing this, but like you can just skate to your heart's content. But then each of the 3 levels also has their own specific challenges, like score this many points, how many of these specific tricks can you nail, um can you do this line without getting caught by a security guard. Like they're all varied enough, and they get more challenging as you go on, of course. There's some customization. I mean, it's not bad customization, but also like you're not going like indefinitely designing a pace, right? Like there's some preset hair, preset skin tones, a bunch of shirts, pants, shoes, glasses, and stuff like that you can buy, um, which you buy through points you earn by completing challenges or the goals in the endless skate. I definitely think it's well worth. I think it's $14.99 for the game. Like it's definitely worth it. I'd recommend it if you're into skateboarding, especially since we're probably not seeing EA Skate till like 2024. But
Question.
yes.
Because, see, I don't know the concept of this game. This is like a side-scrolling skate game. How does this exactly work?
So essentially, like you get dropped in to a specific point in one of the 3 maps. Let's say LA, for example. In LA, you start on like a brick bridge type road, and then you just skate. And the environments change, and you can definitely recognize some specific LA skate monuments if you're into skate. Like there's a challenge in the free skate mode to do a melon grab over the Carlsbad Gap, which if you're into skateboarding, you know what that is. And then you just keep going until you want. But if you're doing like the specific challenges in each level, you'll get dropped into a specific area. And it's not like an endless skate. You do the challenges in that area, the challenge is over. The challenges are also timed. So like one of the challenges for LA is score 5,000 points in 2 minutes. Of course, tricks you can get up to 4 times as a multiplier. And tricks are scored differently depending on how many you can get in a line, of course. Like standard like skateboarding game material. Definitely sorry. Definitely worth the experience. It's quite easy to learn. There are special tricks as well that you can unlock with points. Like an airwalk. That's a special skill you have, like a special trick you have to unlock through the skate shop for like 1,000 skate city coins, or they don't really give you a name. It just says SC, so I'm assuming skate city coins. um, you just use them to unlock whatever you want in the shop. I went more for the uh, skills and tricks than I did for the clothing. But yeah, I enjoyed it. Highly recommend it. It's actually like on a discount, I think, for the first 2 weeks it came out, because the game came out on Thursday, the day before Resident Evil. Like for the public. And I would enjoy it. I know on Apple Arcade they just released a DLC level for Miami, I believe. So potentially another level coming down the line. It's very fun. There's like 21 challenges for each area, and then like I said, there's endless skate for them as well.
But is there a platinum?
No, it's
Aww.
I mean, it was an indie game, so I didn't ask for a review code to try and get the platinum, because I was gonna buy the game, but I shot my shot, got a review code. Thank you again to Papa Agenda Co. I didn't want this game for a platinum. I wanted it because of skateboarding. The music's very nice as well. It's like very calming to listen to. It's in the press release for the game, it's like lo-fi beats.
Okay.
So
It's like similar to Tony Hawk, and like the style of the 3D open world type thing.
yeah, I mean,
Okay.
yeah, I wouldn't say it's as high quality and level design, but that's fine, because I didn't come to this game expecting, Tony Hawk style environments. Like, it's definitely like you're on a 2D plane, but the environments in the background are definitely 3D. Like it's definitely like LA, and you could specifically recognize monuments there as well. Highly enjoyable, and I would definitely recommend it. I think Donnie picked it up on Switch. It's out on Switch, Xbox, PlayStation. I think PC as well. I'm not 100% sure. I have to go back and look at the press release, but I'm not going to open my email right now to do that, because that's just going to slow down my computer for some reason.
Very cool.
Yeah, and then for the rest of the week, I was switching between Skate City, jumped into Assassin's Creed for a little bit to pick up something out of Retta's shop, which, for anyone who's familiar with the last 3 Assassin's Creed games, Retta's like how you can buy paid content with in-game currency. So like each week he'll have a rotating stock of premium items that you'd buy through like paying real money for them. But instead, with currency you can collect in game, you can pay for them that way. So went in to pick one of those up, and then on Friday, Resident Evil Village came out, and I'm 6 hours and 40 minutes in, I think. I've beat, unfortunately, as I'm sure most people are aware, when you play a Resident Evil game, villains aren't going to be around for long. So I've already defeated Dimitrescu. I know that's not how you pronounce it. I don't care. I'm going to pronounce the U.
Big Bay, aka Big Bay, Tall Bay,
or as the internet
Gross.
likes to say, Big Mommy Milkers.
Oh, didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah, yep. Also, like,
Can't say I've heard that one before.
Well, yes.
Yikes.
I mean, one of the streamers I love to watch, Ray Narvaez Jr. I was like, I'm at a point where I feel comfortable watching his playthrough, because I'm not going to be spoiled, because like I was watching part 1 and I'm past the amount of time that's in his playthrough, so I know that I'm like safe to watch that, right? So I was like watching him while I was eating breakfast this morning, and he made a joke like, "Mommy, never did get that milk."
Yikes.
But also, since I know Delvin's playing, let's get into this. Ethan Winters is the dumbest protagonist alive. I swear to God. I swear to God. Like
he's up there. Yeah, he's not bright.
he literally and I don't think this is a spoiler because it's in game promotion. Like literally, like they started the first reveal of this game with the death of Mia. So I'm just saying that. Like that's a thing. It's even on the website. Like it's not a spoiler. Like the game blurb on the back of the case says after Mia's death. Like,
People still read the backs of cases, and how do I read the back of the case if I got a digital copy? Spoilers.
And now I don't care. It's in game promotion. I don't consider it a spoiler. Like Capcom.
But not everybody reads and watches all of that.
But that's fine because Capcom doesn't consider it a spoiler either. So I'm fine. I'm in the clear. You can't get mad at me for this one.
Oh, you're just the sultan of the spoil, so we're gonna get mad at you because it's gonna be spoiled. There are people who didn't know that, and here we are, just
okay.
spoiling the game.
I can't really talk about that without mentioning it. So here we go. For anyone who didn't play Resident Evil 7, I watched a playthrough because I'm not dealing with mold monsters.
So you.
Hey. I watched not one, but 3 whole playthroughs by Ray. Once on standard difficulty, once on Madhouse, and then I watched him play through all the DLC. Which
your question was, so for anyone who didn't play Resident Evil 7,
right? I tried to play Resident Evil 7. I didn't get past the getting in the house. I was like, nope, can't do this. Too tense. Gotta go.
Speaking of Resident Evil 7, before we even get to 8, so you play through 7 as Ethan Winters, same guy. And he's not very talkative. Now, the main difference is he's very talkative at 8, and he has the dumbest lines I've ever heard. What are you doing? Why are you doing this? Oh my God, I just lost my hand because I was pulling a switch and it got sliced off and I could just reattach it? I mean, that's not surprising.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw a clip of dude losing his hand and then pouring some stuff on it and reattaching. I was like, really? This is what we're doing now?
Ethan loses his hand every week.
Ethan loses his hand every 20 minutes. Like within the first time that you're like actively able to explore the village, you lose like 1, 2, and 3 fingers in one bite, and you don't get them back. Like literally, they're just gone. And it's like, okay. I mean, last game you lost your whole.
Yeah.
Spoilers.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm not gonna like spoil actual story beats. I don't consider hands. Anyone who's played Resident Evil 7 or watched a recap knows that this man lost his entire arm in the last game and literally like just reattached it with the same liquid that Dev was watching a clip of. Which it's standard Resident Evil because
what?
Because like in Resident Evil 2, like you'll get bit by zombies and you don't turn because plot armor. So like
there's a plot reason why he could do that, by the way. It's a stupid reason,
I'm sure.
But it's a plot.
I'm sure.
Yes, I know what the
don't
I'm aware.
There's a plot reason. We'll leave it at that.
I'm not spoiling. Anyways, you go through this game and he like meets someone, I'm not gonna say who, and he's like, what's going on? And they don't want to tell him. What? And it keeps going. He's just speaking. Or then, obviously, I've mentioned, like, I've defeated Dimitrescu and all of her daughters, plus one of the other villains, and I'm about to face a third. And after defeating them, he just has the dumbest one-liners ever. And it's just like... Where's Claire? Where's Jill? Where's Ada Wong? Where are the interesting characters? Because, man, do I want to bash your head into a wall.
I mean, even if we got the interesting characters, they may still give them really crappy dialogue.
At least I care about Claire. You know what I would like to happen to Ethan Winters? I'm sorry,
I probably want to see him take a long walk off a short bridge or something.
No, I want to see him get hit with a meteor.
Him lose his arm again.
I mean, when I play the game
just
later
put it back
today,
on.
That's probably gonna happen again. Like, There's a funny post I retweeted on Twitter this morning of like a clip from Futurama with Fry without both of his hands. It's just like Ethan Winters every 20 minutes.
Jeez.
I mean, so like,
I
as
guess
an
I'm not
ongoing-
really missing anything not playing this game because it sounds absolutely ridiculous.
I mean, I'm enjoying my time with it, but there's definitely points where I'm like, Ethan Winters, shut the fuck up challenge. Dude, just stop talking. Like, at least in 7, he's not very talkative. Like, he'll talk when being like confronted by one of the boss characters in 7, and this one he talks like every 5 minutes, and it's just like Ethan Winters,
Yikes.
shut the fuck up challenge. Also, considering I mentioned Mia, he tells Mia to get down after having just watched 30 bullets get shot right into her chest. Just Mia, get down, dude. She's dead.
Wow.
It's some extraordinarily bad acting in this game. Like even for a Resident Evil game, it's some really bad acting.
Yeesh.
I mean,
Sounds like it's par for the course.
I mean, Resident Evil's always cheesy like that, or like, for example,
Resident Evil.
I mean, for example, in previous games, characters would get bit, and if you're playing as them, nothing happens. Like, you just lose health. You don't have like an infection meter or anything like that, and that's plot armor. That's fine. Then you get to stuff like Resident Evil 5, where, hey, we made Chris so bulky, one of the objectives while playing as Chris is to punch a boulder repeatedly until it breaks. And it does.
Man, it's the Hulk. Chris Redfield is just a beast.
Also, shout out to how every game Chris Redfield's look changes, by the way, because they can never pick a set like, hey, this is what Chris looks like. Because he shows up at the end of Resident Evil 7 and he looks like a 25-year-old dude straight out of college. He shows up in the opening like section of this game and he looks like he put 15 years of just like straight being punched square in the face.
White people age like milk.
Chasing vampires and werewolves and things will probably age you a bit.
Yeah.
I mean, also, I feel like he's been through a lot in 7 games. He has to age, right?
Also, like, I'm in an area where, like, we're kind of getting to, like, hey, we're gonna make some actual Resident Evil references now. Like, one of the objectives, I think, has the Umbrella logo on it. But other than that, like, no other mention of, like, what happened is going on. Like, I've discovered a sample from 7, by the way. How did it get to Europe? Great question.
Magic.
But also, like, I don't know. We're not really hearing anything. It's just, I don't know. It's just weird. Like end of 7, you get rescued by Chris, obviously, and the helicopter has Blue Umbrella, which was Umbrella reformed to be the good guys at the end of 6. Widely regarded as one of the most awful games in the Resident Evil franchise. But
I like 6, by the way.
I mean,
it's not a Resident Evil game though. It's an action game. It's 100% action.
I mean, it sounds like this ain't a Resident Evil game.
I mean, this fits more with survival horror. I'm just annoyed at some of the choices. Also, one of the plot MacGuffins, I won't spoil it, makes no sense whatsoever. Delvin's not even there yet, so I can't even like discuss it. But I've collected 2 of them now, and I'm just like, why? Why are we collecting these? These make no sense.
Nothing in Resident Evil makes sense, by the way.
I was going to say, it just feels like nothing makes sense in Resident Evil at this point.
I will say the environments are very cool. The game runs well compared to 7, which I did attempt to play and then just decided I was going to watch a playthrough because 7 runs like ass. And the last time they patched it on PS4, they broke the HDR on it, which is, that's always nice.
That would explain why when I was playing 7, HDR just looked real bad.
The last time they patched it, they broke it and then just decided not to fix it. So,
Terrible.
Don't ask me why,
Terrible.
because Capcom decisions. I will say, I'm getting slightly annoyed with the with the adaptive triggers in this game only, and more annoyed than I was in Borderlands, where I specifically turned them off in Borderlands. I went and turned them off because Borderlands would lock them on you repeatedly. And it was just like, no, I want to fire my gun. Stop locking the trigger on me. Like, I don't need that.
Gun got jammed.
No. The gun did not get jammed. I was trying to fire the gun, and it's not a gun that can jam. It's just like a single shot gun, and it would lock it after like half a press. And it's just like, no, stop. Like, let me push the trigger as fast as I want. So I turned it off in Borderlands. In this game, I haven't quite turned it off yet, but I might, because the resistance is getting annoying with it. Like, they're great in most games. I like the way it's handled in Valhalla. You can feel the tension while pulling on the bow and stuff like that. But it's not so excessive that I need to fight the damn controller, which I don't really want to be doing. The weapons are great. I won't spoil any. Like, Delvin's not that far in, so I'm assuming you just have the pistol and the shotgun?
That is correct.
Okay. So I obviously have more than that, but I don't really want to spoil them. There's the Duke is an interesting character. He makes a great reference to Resident Evil 4, by the way.
Very fat man.
Yeah, I knew
Very
what you
fat
meant.
man.
Yeah.
Apparently his toes are grossing everybody out on the internet.
Yes, they're bad. They're very bad. Have you heard him make the reference?
I don't think I remember it.
You remember the merchant from Resident Evil 4 where he just goes, "What are you buying?
Yes.
What are you selling?" Okay, he literally goes, "What are you buying?" That's just something an old friend of mine used to say.
Oh, okay. I probably didn't even catch on to that.
I mean, I think he starts making the reference while you're in the castle, if you found him in there yet. Because the Duke just shows up in random places, and I'm like, how did you even get here?
Very fat man.
Magic.
Like, yeah, I don't understand. How did he physically get in the castle? He's too fat to fit through the door. Like,
I mean, like, you'll encounter him for the first time right outside the castle, and then not like half an hour later you'll encounter him again in the castle. Just like, how did you get here? Okay. And yeah, I don't know. I'm enjoying Resident Evil. The only other thing I've done this week is watch The Vampire Diaries again, because I finished season 8 last week and then immediately started the series over because I want to watch the spin-off show, The Originals, but I only own season 1, and it's not on any streaming service in Canada. So.
Oh, Canada.
Yeah.
Well, that's been our Resident Evil talk for today. How's your week been, Delvin?
It's been good. I went out of town to Universal Studios, went to both theme parks. I'm vaccinated, so if anybody else got sick, that's on their ass. But it was pretty cool going out, because it's like my first time really going out in the world since COVID and stuff like that. It was pretty cool to go outside and see other people doing things like not like work and stuff. It was a fun experience, and I especially enjoyed it because Universal Studios didn't have, it was like at 25% capacity. So we went to both theme parks, Island Adventure and Universal Studios, in one day, and I was able to get on everything. Like every ride, most rides lines wasn't more than 30 minutes long, if that. And it was pretty cool. It was a pretty fun experience. The Fast and Furious ride is horrible. It is one of the worst rides I've put on in my life. I don't see how they thought that was a good idea.
I just have an anecdote. Is it worse than the Man of Steel ride at Darien Lake? Because I couldn't walk for about 4 hours after the Man of Steel ride at Darien Lake.
I'll put it to you this way. What is the Fast and Furious known for?
Cars.
Fast.
Exactly. Dev hit it. Cars. What do you think you're driving in the game, in the ride?
A
Not
bike.
a car. A party van.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
It is awful. And it's literally to describe the ride. You're in a party van, like a long van, riding with people in it, and it just shows a video of Vin Diesel and The Rock fighting other people on the side of you. And then you get off. That's the ride.
Wow. I remember back when I was still working at NBC, they added the Fast and Furious experience to the tram ride. They replaced like the King Kong thing for it, and we got to see it, and it was pretty lame. Like it was just dumb.
It might be the same thing because it's kind of like you're getting on a tram and it just goes, the tram just goes straight, and you're watching a video of Vin Diesel, The Rock, and them fighting around the tram, but it looks like a video. Like at one point, you can see the stains on the screen.
Oh,
like, oh
God.
I'm like, oh God, this is awful.
Jesus.
But on the gaming side, I've played 2 games. Resident Evil, which Hayley just talked about, I'll give my little facts, but I like the fact that they're not so zombie focused in this one. I think that's so cool so far. I'm like, I guess 2 hours into it or whatnot. Like the bad guys are werewolves and vampires.
Well, Lycans, yes. They don't really classify, but I was looking at a guide for something earlier. Not like trying to spoil the game for myself, but I'd collected something. I just didn't remember where I needed to go to use it. So I looked at a guide, and they called some of the other creatures you fight vampires. So I was just, all right. Which I mean makes sense. They do try and eat you. Yeah. So
yeah, it's pretty cool that they're stepping away from zombies and instead you're like in this big gothic castle, and you explore it, and it's terrifying because you go through these kind of enclosed spaces. But it's a fun game. I like it so far. Ethan is just the worst. He has really horrible writing behind him. And if you were into Resident Evil, I'm quite sure you'll like it. But let's get to the game I know me and Dev want to talk about. Reternal.
Yeah, buddy.
This game is fantastic. And I suck at this game. But I'm fine with that. So far, I've been having a blast with it. I stopped playing it for now because I want to. Well, 2 things. That's the reason why I stopped playing it. One, I figured that Resident Evil's only 8 hours or something like that.
Standard completion, I think I'm seeing right now is 8 to 10. So
yeah, so I figured I can beat Resident Evil and go back to Returnal. Like I could probably beat Resident Evil like in a weekend or something like that. And with Returnal, when I started really getting into it, I started having these weird glitches. Like one of the patches came out, and when I patched it, it completely messed up my vibe for the game in terms of like I would be on a perfect run. Like I'd have like a upgraded gun and stuff like that. And I have like this machine gun and stuff, and I'm full of health and stuff, getting ready to go fight the boss. Then I get in a room and I can't get out the room. So then I have to reset the run, and that kills your momentum. And then I had like one time where, like I told you, Dev, I was on a really good run. I left to have to go to work, but I put it on rest mode. Came back, the game auto updated, and it killed my run. So I had to start my run all the way back over. So those type of things take me out the experience. But the game is so good, I was like, you know what? It doesn't matter. I'll still go through it and play through it. One is beautiful. It is a beautiful looking game. Like a lot of people have said the same thing that I'm about to say, that it feels like the first really next gen game in terms of looks, adaptive triggers, and everything like that. You know, we had the what was the game that came packed with the PS5?
Astrobot.
Yeah, we had Astrobot, but even more so than Astrobot, this feels next gen. Everything about this game, and I love it. It's great. If this is what PlayStation has planned for us, I'm super fine with it. Like they're gonna keep giving us experiences like this, and if Ratchet and Clank is as good as this game, I'm all in, man. This is amazing. I love it.
Speaking of
Yeah.
Ratchet and Clank, did you see that they made a GIF of Ratchet doing the Zemo dance from Falcon and the Winter Soldier?
I did not see that.
I did see that. That was kind of funny. Yeah. Yeah. So our week, went on vacation last week. I went down to Palm Springs for my wife's 40th birthday, so we were down there chilling, and that was real nice. Just had a good time to just get away and kind of recalibrate, restart. It was real nice. We had a pool. It was just us, so didn't have to worry about people or anything like that or COVID. Me and my wife are both fully vaccinated, but it was just nice to just get a change of scenery and just kind of chill out for a while. My wife had somebody actually come cook our favorite meals, which I thought was an awesome thing. So she did that for both of our birthdays, basically. So she made like fried chicken, French toast, shrimp and grits. What was it? Crab cakes, and then this kale salad. And it was just bomb. So basically my favorite foods and then my wife's favorite foods. So it was real nice.
Can I just ask, what are grits?
Huh?
They're grits.
You
I don't know how else to explain it.
I don't know what that is.
Okay. Grits are kind of like oatmeal.
They're more like malto meal.
Yeah, malto meal is good another example. But grits kind of like a grainy type food that you can eat.
Mm-hmm.
Like porridge almost.
Yeah.
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 But it's more salty. It has a really buttery type of taste to it.
Mm-hmm.
If you know how to cook grits, they are very delicious. If you don't, they are awful.
Correct. These grits were bomb. But yeah, so we just had a really good time doing that, just hanging out. I played some Returnal while I was there. Fantastic game. Much like Delvin said, I absolutely adore this game. It's just fantastic. Fan-flippin-tastic. This, like you said, it's got that feel where it feels like a next-gen game, especially with the way they use the controller, the 3D sound, like everything is just really, really good. I love how you can feel like the individual raindrops. You can, like, they do such a good job with the controller that you can almost feel the enemies and everything around you. Like the sound combined with the controller and just the way the environments are as far as the sound is concerned, you can feel everything going on around you, from the raindrops, from the enemies, the fire. Like everything is just great. I'm really digging this game. I love the franticness of it. And even like when you die, like it doesn't feel like wasted time, because while the game is like the levels are randomly generated, once you've been into a room a couple times, like you kind of understand where everything is. You get the feel of it, get the hang of it, and it makes it so it doesn't feel like it's wasted time. You're learning the game as you go through. You're getting better. You're picking up certain items, and so you understand items. So like once you start, getting in a groove, you know which items you want to use depending on your play style. And then also like there's shortcuts. So like once you get to like the second biome and the third biome, in the first biome there are shortcuts to get directly back to the third biome or to go to the second biome if you want to. Like you don't have to refight bosses. So your runs you can go straight from the first biome to the third biome in like 5 minutes. Same with the second biome. So even though you died, let's say you get to the third biome, you get to the boss, even though you died, you aren't going back as far as you would assume, because you don't have to run through the first biome and the boss, the second biome and the boss. You can go directly to the third biome. So it doesn't make it feel as long. And if you want to, you can go explore all the levels and get power-ups and get stuff like that to get, more equipped to fight the boss. But it's that risk versus reward, because you could run into a room and it's like, oh man, this room has a lot of bad guys, and they could jack you up, or you could end up losing a artifact, or end up using a consumable that you want to keep for the boss, or something like that. So, but it's just a lot of fun, a lot of fun. I love what Housemarque has done. I love how they've gotten the arcade element with the third person shooter. So it's just been a blast to play. It's been the only thing that I've been playing for the past 2 weeks. So that's been all I've been really doing, is playing Returnal. I did attempt to play RE7. I won't be playing that. I can't do horror games. I don't do the scary thing.
I will say this about Returnal. That's gonna be a funny story about it. So when I first got to the first boss, right, which I still haven't beaten yet, by the way. So I'm playing against the boss, right? I'm doing really good. I'm like, yeah. I'm looking. I'm like, okay. I have like almost all full energy, and like, oh, he's only down to one sliver left. I shot him. He's dead. Yeah, like, yes, I beat him. Like, oh no, he has like 3 levels of energy. Like crap. Didn't go to it. It just killed my spirit when I saw that.
Yep. Each boss has like 3 levels of health. So yeah, you kill them the first time, and they basically just kind of change up their attack patterns, add some new moves. You got to figure those out, and then you do it again, and then they get a little bit more aggressive, like with each turn too. So you're dodging like so much fire. It's ridiculous. Like it's true bullet hell because there are just bullets and enemies and stuff everywhere. It's awesome.
Yes.
Awesome. Other than that, I mean, today is Mother's Day, so I'll be making breakfast when we're done here. And my wife is just gonna get them endless mimosas and just be able to chill. So it's gonna just take it real easy today. I'm gonna hate going to work tomorrow, but you know, such is life.
Just remember what I said, Dev. Don't get no mothers pregnant.
I mean, I can't. I'm fixed. I ain't getting nobody pregnant.
No immaculate conception.
Nah. If that happens, we gonna have some questions. There's gonna be some problems, some furniture moving around here. I ain't taking care of no more kids. Nope. But yeah, that's been it for my weeks. It's been real basic around here, real basic, and that's how I want to keep it. Because I'm going on vacation again in like 2 weeks. Going to New York for my daughter's birthday, so that's gonna be real fun. So yeah. All right, let's get into these questions. We got about 6 questions, and then we got a good amount of stuff to get through as far as news and stories because we've been gone for 2 weeks and lots of things happen. So let's just jump into these questions real quick. So at Kyle the Pug, friend of the podcast, friend of the PSVG network, he says, if the 3 of you did a Resident Evil speed run versus, who would win? I'm already bowing out. I ain't playing it, so it ain't gonna be me.
I mean, in a true speed run, probably none of us, because none of us actually speed run things. In a who's gonna beat the game first, probably me, because like I said, I'm about to defeat the 3rd boss.
Okay, we gotta put some context to it. If we're all knowing that we're gonna do a speed run, it's not like okay, we're assuming that we all set time apart to do this run. It's not like,
well, if it's a versus, we're all playing at the same time.
So it's not like, well, because it's different now because Hayley has time. We don't have time. So I would say it depends. If we're first playing it all together, I think I got a good chance because I feel like Hayley would be trying to get as much stuff she can to get the platinum.
Oh, I'm not getting the platinum for this game. This game requires you to get an S rank on all mercenaries mode levels. That's not happening. So
then Hayley's winning.
I already know the platinum is off the table. Now, do I want some of the miscellaneous missable achievements because they have funny titles? Yes. If we're doing a speed run, am I going to attempt those? No.
No. If it's a speed run, you're just trying to get through the game as fast as humanly possible. Hell, I might win because that may be the only way I can play a Resident Evil game is to just run through everything.
Hey, Dev, would you like to know some fun information? Resident Evil 8 has an achievement to beat the game in 3 hours.
Yes, that's a fact. So
that is wow.
The question I have for Hayley is, would you be able to ignore all those things to get the speed run done? That's the question.
Yes, because again,
no pickups, nothing like that. Just run through it.
I mean, you're gonna, what do you mean no pickups? You have to pick things up.
No picking up any collectibles or anything like that. Mission stuff, side quest stuff.
Well, yeah, because it's a speed run, so you're just gonna ignore all that.
I know it's the speed run, but I'm asking would Hayley be able to ignore it?
Delvin,
because I know sometimes Hayley likes to pick up those things.
You're asking the person who beat Resident Evil 3 Remake in 1 hour and 51 minutes if they could ignore all collectibles. Hi. Yes, I can do that because I had to do that for Resident Evil 3 Remake to beat the game in under 2 hours to get an S rank on Inferno mode, which,
But
by
that's
the way,
different.
is it's the same thing because I didn't have to worry about pickups except the ones you need for the story.
But that
Like
was
for
in that. But you had already done the other things because you were in a quest to get a platinum. Get what I'm saying?
Okay, but again, correct. However, once you're in that, hey, yes, I was doing that for an achievement, but I probably still would have done it just to know that I could do it. Which,
Okay.
again, the only things that I was picking up in that mode were like the battery pack you need to open the doors in the sewers, like things that were required by the game to pick up to progress. I was not picking up collectibles, and I didn't have to worry about ammo because I had an infinite ammo rocket launcher. So, which, by the way, is a weapon you can get in this game. So,
And that's cheating, by the way.
no, it's not because the game
If
will
we
give you an
if
S
we're
rank with it.
if we're doing a speed run, you can't use your infinite rocket launcher unless we all have the same infinite rocket launcher.
Sure, I can.
You gotta collect it.
If I have it. But
Yeah.
also, I don't think I'll get it because I'm pretty sure you need to in standard Resident Evil fashion. Once you beat the game, you'll retroactively unlock challenges that hey, complete this specific task, and you'll get points for it. I don't know how many points you need to buy the infinite ammo rocket launcher because in Resident Evil 3 Remake you needed 68,000 points to buy it. So,
yeah, I don't think I'm running this speed run, but
I don't think any of us are going to speedrun this game. Because let me put it to you
we're
this
not.
way. Let me put it this way. I already know I'm not getting the platinum for this game. I wouldn't have been able to get the platinum for 7 either. Just because the highest difficulty achievement in 7 was Madhouse, and one of the stipulations for it was random item placement, which might mean that, hey, an item you need to progress is not in the spot that you need it to be. So,
Oh, that sucks.
yes, which that same it's named something different, but that same difficulty is in this game, and yes, you need to beat it to get the platinum. So no, I'm not doing that.
Oof. All right. Next question comes from at MTTG Brazil team, Mr. Pastor Lucas Ham Swisher. He says, in the past 2 weeks, I've been moving. During this time, I went without internet a lot. Once I got back, I surfed the web, played some Rocket League with my pals. It was glorious. My question is this. Minus food, drink, sleep, what would be the hardest thing to go without for 1 to 2 weeks?
Power.
I've done that.
Yeah.
I've done that multiple times. I've done that for a month.
Wow. Yeah, power would definitely be difficult. I would say probably internet because my kids would drive me absolutely insane.
I mean, internet also works because I need the internet to apply for jobs. So,
yeah, internet would probably be the hardest thing for me just because so much of what we do revolves around the internet. I have streaming TV, so I wouldn't be able to stream on TV. I mean, I guess we could watch DVDs and stuff. We loves the internet. Yeah, it would probably have to be power then. That would probably be the most difficult. I mean, the kids could go outside and everything. My wife wouldn't be able to watch TV. We could read books and stuff, but I think the kids after a while would drive us absolutely insane. So
hey, I mean,
we'll
the 2004 blackout was great practice.
I don't know.
I don't know if that affected you. I know it affected most of New York and some of Ontario. It was only like 3 or 4 days, but one of the wind turbines or whatnot suffered a critical failure, and we were without power. I don't know if it affected California though.
Yeah, no.
It sounds a little crazy, but it's the truth because where I live at, AC.
Oh yeah.
That's the worst part of being without power in Florida. Like no AC, and it's 90-something degrees.
Yeah.
That sucks.
You're
out here that'd be a problem too.
24/7.
That would be a huge issue out here as well because it's already been well over 90. We've had some triple-digit days out here already. And there was one time where the power went out at like 2 a.m. and it was sweltering in this place. So, oof.
I mean, not the same thing, but during the summer here, you absolutely cannot survive, at least in this city, without AC. Like I had to do it for the past 3 years before last we only got it in August, so we only had it for like a month. But like the summer is brutal here. Like absolutely can't go without AC. So now they have one, it's great.
Yeah.
Awesome. Next question comes in from Boston Joe 13. He asks, when new systems come out, do you also buy new TVs to keep up with the systems or plug your new systems into your older TVs?
I mean, I'm not gonna buy a new TV every 8 years. I definitely want a new TV. I want that nano cell, or if by some stroke of luck I get enough money for the CX would be great. But generally I have a 4K TV now, so I can just plug my stuff into it. Like,
Yeah. I mean, I ended up getting a new TV when the PS3 came out just because it supported high definition. And I remember playing, I think it was Grand Theft Auto on like a regular SD TV. And like the phone calls when they came up in the corner would be so hard to read on on those televisions that I was like,
yeah,
I can't do this anymore. I literally put my PlayStation down for a good couple of months before I finally got an HGTV, and then I was like, okay, let's try this again. So that was the only time I actually upgraded to get a new TV because it was an actual change in like the format of how games were being played. And I haven't gotten a new TV for a new system since. With the PS5, yeah, I'm getting a new monitor that'll actually support the higher frame rates and things of that nature. But typically, no, I would end up just sticking with the TV that I already have, unless there's some kind of change that validates or warrants getting a new TV for the system. So like, I didn't get a 4K system when the PS4 Pro came out. I already had a 4K TV, but I probably wouldn't have bought one just because the Pro could quote unquote do 4K.
yeah.
But maybe I would have. I don't know. What about you, Delvin?
Well, people are gonna. I sound like such a douche saying this, but I'm gonna say it. Screw it. I get a new TV almost every year.
Wow.
I'm gonna slap you if you. I'm gonna slap you. I'm putting this right out there. You
Why
buy
are you
a
gonna
new
slap
TV.
me?
You buy a new TV after the CX. I'm gonna slap you.
Well, I'm not gonna do it
I
after
mean,
that. I don't have to.
there's a C1 now,
Yeah,
and then there's 8K. So,
but
There's 8K, but nothing is made in 8K, so there's no point.
doesn't mean you can't have one if you can afford it. If you can get a new TV, why not?
Aren't 8K TVs like $10,000?
No.
well, let me explain this. So every year when we get our tax return back, we usually get a good amount of money because 2 kids, we both work, decent amount of money to get back. So my ex always is like, hey, we'll just get you a TV. We know that you like TV, either a TV or a gaming system. And since most of the time gaming systems don't come out every year, obviously, I usually always get like a TV, like a better TV. And this was ever since like back in the day where there were like 1080p TVs and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like the first TV I bought was a 720 TV, stuff like that. It was like $300-$400 back in the day. And when I met her, that's the TV I had. Then once we had kids and stuff like that, and they got like, I want to say like 6 years old, something like that, 7 years old, we started like upgrading our TVs. And it just kind of became a thing where like, hey, every year or every other year, we go to Brandmart and she'd be like, hey, go get a TV. And that's been a thing. So as the new systems came out, like whether it's the PS3 or the PS4, now the PS5, it's kind of been a thing like, hey, let's go get a TV. And that's how I got the TV that I have now. Because I was looking at all the TVs, and we asked the guy at Brandsmart, for those who don't know, Brandsmart's like an outlet chain store that sells like TVs, refrigerators, everything for really cheap prices. She asked the guy, what's the best TV y'all got there for 4K streaming and video games and stuff like that? And he showed us that TV. She was like, get it. We said, okay. And we ended up getting it because like this year, this year and last year, we had the stimulus checks. We had the income tax return. Then we had another stimulus check and all that stuff. So all that money added up, and most of I was fortunate enough where when the pandemic happened, I kept all my bills paid up. Everything I had to do was paid up. All her bills were paid up. I stayed on top of that type of stuff. So when it came time to like these stimulus checks, that was just literally free money for us. So
nice.
I mean,
New TV?
that's what they were for, is to re-stimulate the economy. So, I mean, it's not like by spending it you're doing something wrong. No, like I'm just saying, like you have like one of the most high-end TVs on the market right now. Like I don't think you need a new TV after that.
Well, yeah, I don't think I'll be getting one next year. I'll just say that, but yeah, it's always been a thing where I didn't want to say it because like it sounds like a doofy. Like every year I get a new TV. It's kind of pretentious.
I mean, it doesn't. You want to know something weird though? We did groceries on Friday, and as we're coming back to like pull groceries into the building, someone's just sitting out there, and it's raining too. They're sitting out there with an old CRT TV in a wagon, about to pull it into the building. I'm just like, you might want to put something over that TV because you're just sitting there with the TV in the rain. Like, if you want that thing to be usable, you might want to put like your jacket over it or something.
Yeah. Oh, let me explain this plot hole before we move on, because I know people are wondering, well, what do you do with the old TVs? Because you can't have all these TVs out at one time. So
sure you can.
Every time I get a new TV, the TV I originally had in the living room would go to the bedroom, and the one that was in the bedroom would go to the kids' room, and the other TV would go to one of my in-laws. So that's the circle. So every time I would get a new TV, one of my in-laws would get a new TV.
I mean, that's what we do here. Like, the TV I have in my room was like, hey, when Coach Go installed my new internet, like I think it was last year, I don't even remember, they damaged my TV, so I had to go out and buy a new one, which, by the way, just for reference, don't do this, because this is why I struggle with bills. Hi, I have to pay for my TV every 2 weeks because I couldn't afford to buy one outright because Coach Go wouldn't replace it. Cable companies are fun to deal with when they damage your equipment.
That's crazy.
When I had to go get the new TV, the one that was still working, not the one they damaged, went to my mom. So like she has a 4K TV as well, and she loves the crap out of it because she can just throw Disney Plus on or Netflix, which I'm still trying to get her to get used to using. She could use Disney Plus on her own, no problem. She'll throw Criminal Minds on or whatnot, anything. But I try to get her to use Netflix or anything like that, and it's just, I don't want to do that. And it's just like, it's the same thing. But like, so
That's
she got
funny.
the old working TV when I had to go get a new one. The one that they damaged kind of just sat in the living room because we couldn't do anything with it. Like, they dropped the box that has the prong, like the actual like plug into the wall. They dropped that square on the top frame of the TV, and it damaged the panel, and it was not replaceable.
Oh, they would have been buying me a
Wow.
TV.
Trust me.
Fucked up on the house.
I tried, but they were like, oh, well, I mean, considering the TV's a couple years old, we're not going to give you full value for it. There's no point in us replacing it, yada, yada, yada. It's a couple years out of date. It doesn't make sense.
Nah.
Yeah. That's some nonsense. Yeah. I don't care how old it is. It worked and you broke it, so you gonna replace my TV at full cost. It's some nonsense.
Yeah.
All right. Next question. This one I don't even understand the question. It says it's from the GTSC podcast. They asked a question that said, "Why haven't you us handsome devils on in a minute?"
I think they were trying to say, "Why haven't you had us handsome devils on the podcast?"
I don't even know who you are.
Well, I know who they are.
I know Delvin does, so maybe you can shed some light into this.
They have a pretty cool comedy podcast that's about how do I describe it? The show is essentially they talk about movies. It's called Gun the Sacred Cow. They talk about movies that people consider popular, and they have their guests go on the show and completely crap on the movies.
Oh,
henceforth the term "gutting the sacred cow." So, like, for example, I was on there twice. I talked about the original Fast and Furious, which is an awful movie, as opposed to the rest of them, and Avatar, which is fucking atrocious.
I like Avatar. Wait, which Avatar?
Yes.
The Last Airbender, or like the Avatar Blue people?
No, like the Avatar Blue people.
That movie is horrible.
Yes, it is. However, your comments about the Fast and the Furious are out of line, sir.
The first one is trash. Watch that movie.
No, it is not. It is.
No,
I
Tokyo Drift is trash. Tokyo Drift is trash. Okay,
hey,
the first Fast and the Furious is a product of its time and it's great, much like Avatar.
Also, one of the most iconic scenes in history to be memed is "I'm in your face" when someone put Vin Diesel's face on Paul Walker's body.
That movie is really bad.
I don't even remember that.
No, it's not. It's right outside the tuna shop when he's talking to Mia.
I don't remember. I don't remember that at all. That was like 30 years ago when I saw that movie.
Vince comes in, gets mad at Brian. Brian and him go out and start fighting in the street. Don
over a tuna sandwich.
Hey, sometimes you gotta fight over a tuna sandwich.
No. It's made to look like they're fighting over a tuna sandwich, but no, they're fighting over Mia, and you know that if you actually watch the movie.
Why do you keep coming here getting tuna sandwiches, man? Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, no, it's because Brian comes every day to buy a tuna sandwich, and Vince wants to take Mia on a date. Hi, this is Hayley Explains the Fast and the Furious.
The movie's terrible.
No, it's not.
Terrible.
No, it is not.
I will go as far to say the first two are trash.
No, yeah. The second one is awful. The second one is awful.
Fast, Too Furious. God. Not great. That rat scene.
Now, once they get into they lean into the ridiculousness of the series, that's when it becomes amazing.
They lean into the ridiculousness of the series in the first one. They're stealing DVDs on the back of trucks.
No, not really. They don't start getting ridiculous until like Fast 5.
Yeah, 4 and 5 when they start getting ridiculous.
Fast 4 is pretty ridiculous. They let a guy hang outside a building and just slam him against.
Once Vin Diesel becomes like the Terminator, that's when we get the real Fast and Furious.
No. The first Fast and Furious is great.
No, it's terrible. Awful movie.
I like Donnie's comment. Again, they're not fighting over the tuna. Vince gets mad that Brian keeps coming to buy tuna, but Brian's coming to buy tuna to see Mia. That's the point.
No, I mean, he likes tuna here. You know what I'm saying? Tuna's great. So, in answer to the question, we'll have people on at some point. We just ain't had really anybody on yet. But one day. Check
out Gut in the Sacred Cow. It's a great podcast. I was on there twice.
For sure. Next question comes in from LL Coob 22, and it says, for everyone, what's the game keeping you coming back to currently and playing? And what games on the horizon are y'all looking forward to playing? Start with you, Hayley.
I mean, I always go back to Hitman. It's not a game that I'll play consistently day to day, week to week. This game I always go back to just when I feel like causing mass chaos, because it's very fun to see how much damage you can cause in a room in Hitman before guards. I don't know if anyone here, I don't know if you two are familiar with Achievement Hunter.
No.
Yes.
They had Achievement Hunter had this old series called Things to Do, and in Hitman 1, for example, in the Paris level, there's a puddle right next to a generator. You turn the generator on, and they kept luring people over to see how many people they could fry in the puddle. And it got to the point that they'd had so many do it, the game crashed because they had caused so many people to die in the puddle. Seeing how much chaos you can cause in a Hitman level is great. What am I looking forward to on the horizon? Mass Effect on Friday, and then Ratchet in June. And as of right now, still on track. We don't have a release date, but I'm expecting October or November for Horizon Forbidden West. So, and Life is Strange in September. So,
what about you, Devin? What do you keep coming back to?
Well, right now, Returnal. But when I'm looking towards the horizon, of course, Ratchet and Clank and Mass Effect. But if we're gonna go deeper into the future of this year, Deathloop. That looks fantastic. I can't wait to play that.
I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but I don't think that's coming out this year. I think it's gonna get delayed again because it's an arcane game. I expected it to get delayed twice.
Well, still on the horizon.
Yep. For me, the game that I always go back to, of course, is good old Destiny 2. I head back to that every now and again. That's like, you know, my safe space. Other than that, like currently, it's Returnal. I can't get enough of that game. Absolutely loving it. As far as the Horizon, I'm really looking forward to Final Fantasy VII Integrate, the FE expansion. I'm really looking forward to that. So I'm hyped about that. But also Kena, Ratchet and Clank, of course. Uh, oh god, and Sifu. I'm really looking forward to Sifu, the little like martial arts game. That one
Yeah,
looks awesome.
that one looks cool.
So I'm really, really looking forward to that. Hopefully we get some more information on that or release date soon. That would be pretty cool. And our last question, Hollywood Bones wants to know if your likeness was able to be in any game you wanted, what would that be? It could be an existing game that replace the current character with your likeness, or it could be a game that you make up.
Mass Effect, Commander Shepard.
Yeah.
This is gonna shock people, but I don't want my likeness in a game. If I have to pick a game, I'm going with Mass Effect, but I really don't want my face in a game. I have issues with how I perceive myself. I don't want to have to look at it for 60 hours while playing a game.
Oh, Hayley, you shouldn't feel like that. That sucks.
No,
you just brought the room down.
You
make me. You shouldn't, but you are you, and you should like you for you.
No. I that's fine, and I'm working through that. But also, it would be really hard to work through that while having to look at it for 60 hours on the screen. Because again, I tend to try and go for all achievements and stuff. No, there's something I'm working on for that, but again, money. So
put me in God of War. Make me an NPC. So somebody you got to interact with regularly.
What if you're the second Mimir? You're just on
That's cool.
The other waste of Kratos.
I'm good with that. Go ahead, put me in there and have me make witty comments and talk a bunch of trash to Mimir and Kratos. That'd be fantastic. So yeah, put me in God of War. I'd be down for that. All right, well that does it for our questions for this week. Let's jump into all of the news that we've had these past couple of weeks. So Hayley, what you got for us?
Just a short story that I don't even really need to read because I did put it in there to talk about the story. I put it in there to talk about the fact that part of the story is the achievements have leaked for Mass Effect Legendary Edition. There's 3 platinums.
I saw that.
I will only be going for 2 of them because again, I'm not really a fan of Mass Effect 1. I'll just use the Genesis comic at the start of Mass Effect 2. Very excited for Friday. So, I may not be able to stream it though. For anyone who's wondering, I did stream the opening of Resident Evil 8 on stream on launch night. It didn't really go very far, and also I kept getting distracted, so I just stopped. We're gonna stream Wrath of the Druids for Assassin's Creed because I know that I can just go through that and have fun. Mass Effect I do want to stream, but right now there's I'm waiting to hear back from BioWare. I'm not the only one, of course. Like they're going to tweet this out publicly, but considering Warner Brothers currently owns the rights for a movie, there's big worries right now, and this is even confirmed by BioWare that like they're trying to work this out for DMCA strikes for all of the music for Mass Effect 1 and 2. So I would like to stream Mass Effect when it comes out this weekend. I might not be able to. If I have to play the game off stream, I'll start a separate save file to stream if it becomes a thing that we can do. But also considering that like I sort of do enjoy streaming, I don't want to lose my channel.
Yeah, very cool.
So the only other thing I have to say is it's very nice that they've updated the controls for the Mako. And I'll be using updated controls because the Mako is also in some of the DLC for Mass Effect 2. But if you want the old controls, they're there for you.
Yeah, I saw that.
Nobody wants
That's crazy that they give you a platinum for each one of those games, and there's trophies that are like for the whole collection. So it's going to be a lot of trophy hunters out there hunting down all the trophies.
I've never seen for the whole collection as a whole. Like I know they've said that for Mass Effect, but Crash Insane Trilogy did the same thing. There were 3 platinums for that for Crash 1, 2, and 3.
Did not know that. But
Yeah,
it's also Crash, so
Spyro did it as well.
interesting. All right, what you got for us, Delvin?
Well, rumor has it, we may be getting some more PS5 controller colors. So apparently the same guy who leaked out May 2021's PS Plus lineup basically said they were getting some more PS5 colors. Red and black and gray. So what do y'all think about that?
Yeah, I saw this article, and I want that red and black controller if it's legit.
I do too.
If the red and black controller is legit, I would like it as well. I'm very tired of the white and black.
Yeah, it'll go perfect with all the Ghost of Tsushima stuff that I have on my PS5 because it is red and black, so that'll go okay.
Yeah, I'm excited. I hope these come out soon. If this is true, give us some more controller colors, man. It doesn't seem that hard to make them, so
yeah. I definitely have been holding off on buying a second controller because I don't want the same one. I want a red one. I typically do that every time. I hold out for a red controller as my second controller, so if it's legit, I'll probably pick one up.
Also, I'm just going to insert this here. It wasn't my story of the week because it's kind of a non-starter. I posted this in the Discord earlier this week. Yes, as one of the resident Sunset Overdrive fans in the PSVG network, yes, I did see that Sony trademarked it. Hi, that's probably just to make sure that no one else can use the license. However, if we actually get a remaster out of it, considering the lead game designer for Sunset Overdrive just rejoined Insomniac, I'm totally down. Yeah, so
Sunset Overdrive may be coming to a PlayStation near you.
Yeah, I mean, and again, because this still shocks people for anyone who doesn't know. Yeah, when Sony bought Insomniac, they got that IP because the whole reason that Sunset Overdrive was on the Xbox to begin with is because Xbox let Insomniac keep the IP. So now Sony owns it.
Yep.
I tried playing that game. Did not. I couldn't get past like the first 30 minutes. It just
I love Sunset Overdrive. Some of the dialogue is cringier than Resident Evil, but that's fine. Like there's straight up a comment in Sunset Overdrive about, "Oh, sorry, I was browsing Reddit."
Well, Sunset Overdrive is one of those kind of parody type games. Almost.
Yes,
I mean, it makes sense.
I mean, one of the respawn animations is straight up Portal. Like you're just falling through portals. Like,
yeah. All right, so my little story is every couple of years, Paul George has a shoe release that coincides with PlayStation. I have tried to get these shoes every single time that they have become available, and I have failed every single time because the Nike sneakers app hates me and lots of other people. But Paul George, once again, has his shoes coming out this year, and he's got a PlayStation colorway. The shoes are always actually typically inexpensive for shoes, which is always nice. They're always about $110, which for Nikes is like unheard of because most of their shoes now are like $150. So these shoes look dope. Yeah, these shoes look really dope. They got the blue and white PlayStation colorway. They've got the sacred symbols. They've got PG's logo on there. I really want these shoes. Xbox gets onesies and Adidas. PlayStation every now and again we get some refrigerators. PlayStation every now and again we get these Nikes, and I would like some PlayStation swag. If I'm gonna have to spend over $100 for them, I would really like to be able to finally get these daggone shoes. I would also like their sweats, but I'm not paying $80 for no damn sweats. PlayStation Store is too expensive.
Yeah. Also, fun fact, considering that hopefully the next time I get paid, I have enough money left over after paying bills to pre-order Ratchet and Clank. I love that one of the stipulations for pre-ordering it is a $5 discount off the PlayStation Gear Store. Great.
Man, I hate when they do that. I'm like, what is that going to get? Like, the stuff is so expensive. That $5 discount ain't even going to cover the tax half the time.
Also, it's very funny that it tells you the coupon is available for use in Canada when that $5 coupon is pretty much like doing nothing. because, for reference, last year while I still had my 2 jobs, I was trying to order a Firefly pop socket, which is this. If anyone's unaware, for audio listeners, it's something that you can use to hold your phone, so you're not like resting your fingers on the bottom of it. I was trying to order a Fireflies one for that. The pop socket was $15. The shipping to Canada was $90. Hi.
Jesus.
No, I'm not paying $90 shipping for a $15 item.
Yeah, the PlayStation Store is a hot bucket of trash. Everything is too expensive. It's just, oh God, I hate the PlayStation Store so much. I want so many things, but no.
Thanks for giving me the $5 coupon when I pre-order Ratchet and Clank, because that's totally useful.
Yeah, they need to start doing like 10%, 20%. That $5 ain't helping nobody. Absolute shenanigans. But I want these shoes, and hopefully I can get lucky enough to finally get them. Maybe the sneakers app will be kind. It usually isn't.
I mean, mostly you're working against scalpers, aren't you?
No, not with the sneakers app, because you basically just like sign up and it's either you get in or you don't. So it's not really scalpers. And I've never actually gone to look to see if people are selling these particular shoes like at a ridiculously markup. But I'm sure there's probably a couple. But I've always wanted. They had some that actually lit up that I wanted really bad but couldn't get.
Yeah, because I know that's a big problem in the sneaker market. Like Alana Pierce consistently mentions looking for a specific pair of shoes, and they'll go to wait in line on like some website for them, and then they're gone before they can even.
Yeah. It's the sneakers app. You can't. It's not really. You can't. It's not about getting in line. It's just a random draw. So either you get drawn or you don't. So we'll see if I can get them. Fingers crossed. All right, so a lot has happened over the past 2 weeks. A lot. Well, a lot. So we had our PS Plus May games that were announced. Not a bad month. I mean, Battlefield 5, Stranded Deep, and Wreckfest Drive Hard, Die Last. Not bad. I mean, Wreckfest, I feel like it just actually came out for PS5 as far as like the upgrade was concerned. And then we get that as a game. Battlefield 5 is still a pretty good game. I'm surprised it doesn't have like a PS5 patch. And then Stranded Deep was one I didn't hear too much about. But once again, you're getting some pretty good games, and you're actually getting a PS5 version of a game, which is also really nice. I mean, it's for everything everybody talks about with Game Pass. I still feel like PS Plus is like really hitting with getting really good games every month. So if you're a PS Plus subscriber, you're getting a decent library. It's not quite Game Pass, but it's not bad.
Yeah,
you guys playing any of these games?
I hate Battlefield 5. I did not like it at all.
Yeah, I'm not into Battlefield really. I'll probably give Wreckfest a shot, but when I'm done with Resident Evil, so
yeah, I kind of want to check out Wreckfest just to see what it's hitting for, what it looks like. Not typically my type of game. Battlefield 5, I feel like I had from EA Play, but I've just never played it. So if I have time, I might check it out.
I actually don't
like Battlefield 5.
I don't think Battlefield 5 is in the vault. A game that I know will be coming to the vault on launch day is Knockout City.
Didn't that already come to PlayStation?
No, Knockout City is the dodgeball game that was revealed at the last State of Play.
I feel like
it's not out.
So.
It's not out.
It's not out yet.
It's out. I think it's out Victoria Day weekend or Memorial Day in the States. Same thing, essentially.
Maybe what I saw was a beta for it then.
Yes.
Because I have EA Play. I have EA Play, and that was something that I could actually play.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a beta test that came out originally. I believe its release date's sometime the end of this month, right, Donnie in the chat? Because I also know it's coming to Game Pass, but it's also coming to EA Play. So
maybe it was just on PC. I don't remember, but I know that I had access to it.
Yeah, it was a beta test. It's an open beta.
Whatever.
True.
Not something I'm gonna play. I'm definitely not playing any dodgeball game. I'm good. Totally good on that. Battlefield 5 I'll probably check out when I have time. So again, PS Plus, keep hitting them.
I'm not into Stranded Deep, but For anyone who also has PlayStation Now and may or may not have clicked on the tile and had it in the thing, when you go to claim it, you actually, if you're on PS5, have to go to the PlayStation Plus tab and claim it that way. Because if you played it through PS Now, it'll tell you own the game already, which you don't. So you have to click to the PlayStation Plus tab on your PS5, or through the store on PS4 to actually get to the Plus tab to click claim, because otherwise it'll stay as the PS Now copy.
For sure. So I will do that because there's so many games that I have that always say the PS Now, and I'm like, but I have this, so I need to go through and actually look at that and try to claim them because I'm like, why is it always saying through PS Now? I'm like, I don't have PS Now.
So with stuff like that, if you actually own the game, it should say purchased at the bottom, but it'll have the PS Now tab at the top because it's on PS Now. So like you own the game, but the PS Now will appear in the top corner because it's on the service if you have PS Now. If you don't have Now, it shouldn't show up there.
Got it. So Ratchet and Clank got a state of play.
Yes, it did.
What are you guys' hype levels for Ratchet and Clank? Are you like super excited about it?
I'm very excited. Big Ratchet fan. I wasn't really a fan of the 2016 game, but I'm very excited for this one. Game looks great. We finally got a dash, which is great because that's always been my one complaint with Ratchet is that like trying to dodge things is kind of a pain in the neck. But now we've got a dash, so should be easy. Game looks great. Very excited to meet Rivet, Jennifer Hale. So, you know.
What did you guys feel about what about you, Delvin? You excited for Ratchet? You ready to jump in there and cause destruction and chaos?
Yeah, I'm super excited to play it out. Can't wait. It's gonna be hard because there's so much stuff coming out right now. It's like, shoot, do we have time? Like, it's a lot of stuff like Returnal, Resident Evil. Then you got Mass Effect. Then you got Biomutant.
Yeah.
It's just smorgasbord of games. So,
hey, I mean, considering the first half of this year has kind of been a drought, it's a great time.
Oh, it's great. Yeah, this is awesome.
Yeah.
But it just feels like, man, this is a lot. I can't wait to play it. Hopefully, I will have what I need to play done before Ratchet and Clank comes out.
Right.
I mean,
yeah, it definitely feels like it's hitting at just the right time for me personally, because I'm not even going to bother with trying to play through a bunch of Mass Effect because that's a lot of game. But summertime feels like a really good slot for Ratchet to get in there and just have a blast.
You're looking at about 30 hours for each Mass Effect, and that's if you're just mainlining it.
Yeah, that's not gonna happen.
And I don't mainline Mass Effect games. I play them.
No, yeah, you want to do the side content in Mass Effect. Dev doesn't care about like companion interactions, so you probably wouldn't get much side stuff. But for people who do care, to actually get that side content, you have to talk to your crewmates, which
I will say this
pressing the X button.
The side stuff in Mass Effect 2 was very compelling.
Yes.
In terms of talking to these crewmates and hearing the stories of certain characters and like, hey, they have like what's called loyalty missions. Like, hey, I need your help with this mission and stuff like that. You get some really cool gameplay, like almost like Ghost of Tsushima, where you have these like little side stories that are just as good as the story that you're playing. Mass Effect does a good job with that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm real good with that stuff. I'm just not romancing nobody.
No, you don't need to romance people to get the side content. But you do need to talk to your crewmates to get the loyalty missions and stuff. You don't
I'm only talking to Jack.
I mean, you can't talk to Jack until you recruit Jack. And no spoilers since Mass Effect 2 will potentially be introduced to new people on Friday. You have to do specific missions to recruit Jack. So.
Well, that's what I'll do whenever I play the game, which might actually just not ever happen, to be perfectly honest.
I mean, again, if you're not going to talk to your crewmates, I don't recommend playing this game because most of this game.
Oh no, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that I might not ever play Mass Effect because it is just so much game. It might just be something that I don't touch.
Hey,
there's other stuff that I'm more excited about.
It's I'm not pushing you to play Mass Effect. Like, I love Mass Effect, but I'm not gonna go push someone who's more into like, and this isn't a slight at you either, who's more into like first person shooters and shorter game experiences. Like Mass
That's
Effect
not
is a
that's not at all. That's not at all what I'm mostly into. I'm more into third person action adventure games. The only
yes.
first person shooter that I really play is Destiny, and I like all the side content. It's just a matter of Mass Effect is a huge game. I like a good 70-hour game. Like, I'm totally okay with that. It's just that Mass Effect does not fit into this year of gaming for me.
That's
Like,
fair.
Mass Effect is a game that would be right up my alley, but when it came out, I just didn't have the time for it. And now that it's being re-released, I still don't have the time for it, just because of how massive the game is, and it's 3 of them. So
Yeah.
I would say this: Mass Effect is my destiny. What Destiny is to you, I can always go back to play Mass Effect anytime and be fine with it.
I'm
That's
gonna
what I
call you
love Mass
out.
Effect.
That's a lie. You're not going back to Mass Effect Andromeda.
Well, the original trilogy. I never even finished Mass Effect Andromeda. The original trilogy, the Shepard trilogy, I will go back
Uh,
to and play all the time.
and I say that as someone who loved Andromeda. I'm very close to the platinum in that game. I'm not going back to play it.
I'd probably go back and play Andromeda.
I don't know. I wouldn't recommend it honestly because of the way that game was received. The story's sort of incomplete. I'm not spoiling anything, but like the premise of Andromeda is that it's a prequel and a sequel, sort of. Like you depart Earth during the events of Mass Effect 2, between during the end of Mass Effect 2, but before Mass Effect 3, so you have no idea what's happening. Well, like anybody who's played Mass Effect would know what happened in 3, but the protagonists of Andromeda have no idea what's going on Earth. They don't know if Shepard succeeded in fighting the Reapers or anything like that. They left Earth, but then you're in cryosleep for like 600 years after that. So it's also a sequel. Like, it's weird. Um, but like, there's arcs that go with you, and 2 of them just aren't in the game because they were meant to be DLC, but the game didn't actually do well, so the DLC got canceled. So the story's like incomplete in that aspect.
Yeah, I
yeah,
think
Andromeda looked dope. Like, that was a game that I actually really wanted to play, but it just came out at a time where I just didn't have the time to play it. But I loved the idea of it.
Mm-hmm.
I think Mass Effect Andromeda is one of those games that reviews just killed to an extreme degree in terms of like it could have did better if the reviews were so negative. Like a lot of the stuff that people were complaining about Mass Effect Andromeda, they fixed. Like within,
Mm-hmm.
it was a very much a playable game when I played it. Like it wasn't. People made it sound like it was unplayable. It had glitches delay, but it was not unplayable. It was not Cyberpunk. I'll say that much.
Yeah,
Oof.
no, it was very funny the way Ryder went up and down staircases.
Yes, it was not Cyberpunk. People exaggerated
Yeah,
on Mass Effect
and
Andromeda.
also the issues were fixed pretty quickly. Like it wasn't like a Cyberpunk where we're 4 months in and the game's still catastrophically broken.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. I think a lot of it was just based on what the people were expecting from BioWare and their pedigree, and that it just didn't quite meet up people's expectations. So I think it got put to the fire a little bit more harsher than a lot of games would have. Because I feel like, you a lot of games just release with like bugs or whatnot, and we know they'll be fixed. So you can forgive a lot of that stuff, but I feel like because of BioWare's pedigree and the expectations, it was unfairly judged a little more harsher than I think it probably should have. Because anybody that I've talked to who have played Andromeda is like, this game is really good. What are y'all talking about? So
Yeah,
yeah.
like I
So
finished Andromeda and I enjoyed it, but also it still irks me that like the 2 of those story arcs about like getting the arcs, um, just never happened, and they're like dangling plot threads that are left there. Now, for people who are aware of the fact that yes, we know Mass Effect 4 will eventually be coming. We don't know if it'll be titled 4, but like the next Mass Effect game is is in development, and the trailer is using both the events of 3 and Andromeda and the timeline is like meant to be that way. So don't really know. Could potentially actually be a Shepard continuation, but also dealing with like the writers and stuff like that. We don't know. Very exciting stuff. Probably going to be like 5 or 6 years before we see it, but also it's in development, so that's cool.
Just bring me Shepard. I'm happy.
Yeah.
I want Shepard.
Do you create your Shepherd, or do you just go with the default?
I go with the default male Shepard. I know Hayley's fem Shepard, but I like.
I mean, to be fair, I prefer and this was a dumb thing. So for anyone who's not familiar with Mass Effect, for Mass Effect 3, there was a fan campaign to like create the iconic FemShep look, and like you would vote on like what hair colors FemShep would have. And I usually go with I went with red, and everybody voted red. So like yes, for this one I won't really be doing any customizing because like the look that I went with for Mass Effect is the standard FemShep look for the whole trilogy now. So I don't really have to do any work. But before that, yes, I did customize my Shepard.
Mass Effect was interesting because I feel like that's one of the first games where when people started talking about it, you started finding out like, hey, most people play this game as FemShep. I'm like in the minority of people who play it as male Shep. So I didn't know it until I started reading about like, hey, people play this as FemShep. They don't play as male Shep. Like, oh, that's actually pretty cool.
It's also very ironic that people find out that BioWare considers FemShep canon and then get really upset about it. So
yes,
that's a fun thing. That's why, by the way, one of the trailers for Andromeda was, hey, this is Commander Shepard signing off, and it was just FemShep. And people are like, well, what do you mean? And I'm like, well, yeah, BioWare has said time and time again, FemShep is canon. Like, what are you doing? Like, why are you getting upset?
I feel like if you're gonna make the character canon, why even have a character creator? Like, if that's who you want to have as your canon, as the person that is the actual like lead of the game, why even bother having
Mass Effect
a character creator
out in a time when
I get that, but then so why even go back and say she's canon? Like I feel like it just doesn't even make sense. If you're gonna make her canon, then just make her the lead of the game.
I don't even think they were trying to make her canon. I think the fans made her canon, so they're like, yeah, she's canon.
Okay, but also I'm using this as an example. This is the same thing. Mass Effect released at like the first one and then the second one were released at a time where a lot of people were not very happy to play as femme characters. And I'm just putting that out there. And you still get this nonsense.
F those people.
I'm aware. I agree. However, this problem still persists to this day, which is why I'm using Assassin's Creed Odyssey here. Cassandra is considered the canon character. Like, hey, Cassandra is canon. Spoilers for Odyssey, and this isn't like a story spoiler. It's whatever character you don't pick to play as in Odyssey. For anyone who's unaware, you can choose to play as Cassandra or Alexios. Whichever character you don't pick becomes the villain. However, Ubisoft's canon choice is that Cassandra is the protagonist and Alexios becomes the villain. People still get mad that Ubisoft said Cassandra is canon, and fuck those people. But that's why BioWare will say, hey, FemShep is canon, but still give players the choice, because otherwise you get a really like upset portion of the audience, and companies are about making money. So
yeah, fuck them. That's how I feel. If you're gonna be upset about me choosing a female lead, then I don't want you playing my game. That's just me personally.
Yeah,
because I have no problem playing the female lead. In fact, most of the games that I have enjoyed in the past like couple of years, the lead has been a female. So
yeah,
more power to them.
And as a person who likes male Shepard, I'm completely fine with female Shepard being the lead. I think that's awesome. I think it's cool that people have gravitated towards that character, especially in a time where, frankly speaking, people weren't gravitating towards women characters.
Yeah.
People were kind of like, every time a woman character, oh, why are you making me play as a girl? Get out of here with that crap, man. Just enjoy the game. It's
also slight spoilers for Assassin's Creed Valhalla. The same thing happens there. Femme Ivor is canon. Male Ivor is canon-ish, but only in a specific way that I don't want to spoil. However, the actual like historical person in the context of Valhalla is Fem Ivor. You want to know the rest? Either go look it up or play the game. However, I'm assuming most people will go look it up because to get to that context, you need to play 140 hours.
Well,
That's a lot of hours.
From what I've heard, what I've read about both Assassin's Creed games, everybody has told me the woman version is far superior than the male version of those games.
Yeah.
The writing and everything. So.
Yeah. I wish they would just commit and just be like, you're playing as a female. We don't care. We're gonna push this. This is who is our character is, and we're standing behind it. I wish they would just do that.
Another reason they don't is because they sell gear packs in the store and they look different on each character's body. So money.
Oh, I get why they do it.
Yeah, we know why they do it. I just wish that they would have some cojones and stand up, draw a spine, and be like, "This is what we're doing. Get on board or kick rocks."
Yeah.
Shenanigans. So I don't know if you have this in Canada, but the YouTube TV app is now on the PS5.
Yeah, YouTube TV.
Do you guys have that?
Here.
No surprises there.
What do y'all have?
I mean, we have Netflix, we have Amazon Prime, we have Disney Plus.
Y'all don't have grits. Y'all don't have YouTube TV.
Technically, we have Hulu through Star, but that's like baked into the Disney Plus app now. Like that's a whole separate, like instead of having a separate app for it, it's just a sixth tab, like the Disney, National Geographic, all that stuff. It's just a sixth tab that's a Star, and it's got a bunch of Hulu content on it. It's how my mom watches Criminal Minds on Disney Plus. As you all know, I watched it through iTunes because I bought it all on iTunes. But we've also got Crave, which gets some HBO content, but like we don't get all the HBO Max stuff. Like it's a thing. What else? Obviously we've got the Twitch app. Like we've got most of the apps there, but like YouTube TV has never been a thing here. Neither was PlayStation TV either. So
really,
yeah.
YouTube TV is actually pretty cool. I did try a trial of it, and it actually is really nice. Too bad you guys don't have it out there, but it's a cool little subscription service. So if you're looking for TV, it's got a lot of channels. The interface is really slick, so I enjoyed it. It's pretty cool.
I don't know if it's the same thing as like, for example, I don't have cable in my room. My mom has cable in her room. Like we have cable in one room of the house because I just don't use it. I'll use Netflix or whatnot. But like, for example, they were on sale this week, so my mom bought them for me, and I'm gonna pay her back because I didn't have the money for it. But like, the final season of Supergirl was on sale on Google Play for $10. So bought it, and now week to week that'll get added to the library I have of content on YouTube. But it's not the same as like watching live TV through YouTube TV. I can just buy a bunch of like TV programs or movies. Like for reference, I love the Fast and Furious series. Have them all on Blu-ray. They came with digital codes. All those digital codes are available to me on YouTube, and I can just watch them through YouTube. So yeah.
It works pretty much the same way. It pulls all that stuff as well because it's just through the YouTube TV app. So, but it's a cool service. I'm glad they finally added it to PS5. And our last little story, Sony got hit with a lawsuit over the PS Store digital sales exclusivity. I don't know if you guys saw that, but there's a class action lawsuit where third-party retailers are coming against them because you can't buy Sony digital games anywhere but the Sony store. So you can still go in and buy the currency. So you can go ahead and buy PSN money pretty much anywhere. But as far as buying a digital game, the only place you can do it is through the PSN store. So there's been a class action lawsuit saying that you've created a monopoly and that we should be able to sell third-party games. Personally, I want to see them lose this so that I can actually get digital game codes from like Best Buy and use
I was going to say the exact
Best
same
Buy
thing.
money or gift cards or anything because I buy all my games digitally. I don't want to have to always buy PSN money. I'd like to just be able to buy the code from Best Buy and use my points and stuff.
That's fun. This lawsuit's getting thrown out of court because it's under false pretenses, just so we're clear. This has already been noted by industry execs. The the wording in the lawsuit is under false pretenses, and I'm very sure the judge is just going to toss it out the window.
Well,
So
we'll see.
Debbie Downer Hayley.
No,
Just gonna
accurate,
come in here.
Hayley. Very tired of lawsuit
You
news
just
and games. Also, very tired of
just
the epic
rained
verse.
on my parade of happiness. Okay, thanks a lot, Hayley.
I mean, you're welcome, because I'm already very tired of this Epic versus Apple trial nonsense.
I'm not talking about Epic versus Apple. We don't care about it. We're talking about PlayStation. All right, this is a PlayStation podcast.
I mean,
we're talking about buying PSN codes for games places other than the PlayStation Store.
Nope, not gonna happen, and you know it.
No, I don't know that. I don't. I'm gonna hold out a hope and hope that this actually goes through, because I'm tired of having to buy PSN money. I just want to buy the game with my points.
Yeah, it's not gonna happen. I hate to be that person, but no.
How great would it be if I could just buy like games off of Amazon, the digital version of a game off of Amazon, and just send that code to my nephews?
It'd be great. You can do it for Xbox.
Yeah.
They need to stop this. It's not a consumer friendly practice at all. It sucks. It really sucks. I mean,
I don't disagree, but I also know this lawsuit's going nowhere. So,
and then somebody will bring it up again. They're going to keep fighting this fight because third party retailers want to be able to make that Skrilla too. So, hopefully, especially with everything, really people are trying to push digital, and digital sales have gone up so much. They need to just go ahead and allow their games to be sold elsewhere.
Not gonna happen.
Freaking PlayStation.
They used to sell game codes, and
I know
the most prominent one was God of War. It would just hang on the little tabs at Walmart, and you'd take it to the code and buy it. And then Sony stopped that because they didn't like that. So
they hate us. Haters gonna hate.
Mm-hmm. Very much so.
I hate to be the bearer of bad news for people. This lawsuit's
no, you
going
don't.
Silence. No, you don't. You love it.
You revel in being the bearer of bad news.
Bearer of bad news and spoilers. Either way, I hope that somehow this lawsuit either doesn't get thrown out or they do something and put it back in so we can start getting digital codes for our system like everybody else under the sun. Because it's stupid.
What's a spoiler I can throw in here just randomly?
Oh my god.
Okay. Roland dies in Borderlands 2.
I didn't know that.
Jesus. Delvin, hurry up and finish Resident Evil so we can talk more about Returnal. All right.
Exactly. Yeah.
Finish that nonsense.
Again,
Returnal is awesome.
Again, I'd like to play Returnal, but I had to pick and choose, and I chose Resident Evil. So.
You chose poorly.
I did not. I did not. I enjoy Resident Evil a lot. Thank you very much. And I'm very excited to get into Mass Effect this Friday, and the Wrath of the Druids DLC for Assassin's Creed Valhalla on Thursday. And then Ratchet's like 3 weeks later. So, but
there is only Returnal. Returnal is life.
There is not.
Returnal is great.
I'm not saying poorly. It's not. I did not.
You chose poorly. Okay.
I did not. That game is $90 here.
Well, you also chose poorly to live in Canada because everything is just skyrocketing out there.
I didn't choose to live here. I didn't choose to live here. I was born here. That wasn't my call.
Not our problem. You got to fix that.
Hey,
you were born in the wrong place.
Yourself out or something. Shenanigans.
No,
y'all. All right, well, we're getting completely derailed here, so that's going to do it for episode 82 of the PlayStation Experience. We hope you enjoyed yourself. Please feel free to holler at us and give us a follow over on the Twitters at PlayStation XP. Stop by the blog at psvg.blog or the Discord at psvg.blog/discord and join us in our shenanigans there. Just as a heads up, the master feed is gone. No longer exists. It's gone. Peace out. It's been a real master feed. We loved you, but it's time for all good things to come to an end and to bring new life. So you want to find PSXP or any of the other PSVG shows, they have their own feeds. Just search for PSVG in your podcast, listener of choice, and you should see all of our different shows there as well. So give us a subscribe, people. It's real cool. That way, you can get what you want and not have to, get everything. So it's gone.
Donnie took
All
that
right.
Master Chief in the backyard and killed it like Old Yellow.
Mm-hmm. Took it
Old
out
Yellow?
back.
It's Old Yellow.
Old
It's
Yeller.
Old
Same
Yeller.
thing. Old Yellow.
Same thing. We
whatever.
knew what he meant. We knew what he
Kodak
meant. He's
Yellow.
old. Kodak Yellow. We
Just,
knew what he meant.
I'm laughing at the prospect of someone going, "Oh, it's just like Old Yellow." Huh? What do you? What? No, it's
Mellow Yellow.
It's Old Yeller.
Mellow Yellow.
Mellow
Old Yellow.
Yellow.
I have
Everything.
not seen Mellow Yellow in years.
I'm surprised you even seen Mellow Yellow in Canada.
I was gonna say the same thing.
We did see it, but I have not seen it in years. It's like RC Cola. I haven't seen it in years.
Oh, man,
Except-
RC Cola.
Except
throwback.
that weird. I don't know if you guys have seen that weird Spanish ad for it, where it's like the child has 4 cups on the back or whatnot, and they throw ice in it, and then they pour the RC Cola from the mom's head, who took her head off, and it's a bottle of RC Cola. Yeah, it's real weird.
What kind of
Sounds
weed are y'all
Canadian.
smoking in Canada?
Nope, it's not a
Good,
Canadian
good.
ad. It's definitely in Spanish, just so we're clear.
That don't mean it can't only be run in Canada, because I ain't never seen that nonsense.
I will link it to you later. It's very great.
Wow. Well, if you enjoy our shenanigans and our content here, we also have a Patreon where just for $3 a month, you can get all of our additional shows. Well, one day we'll do a behind the scenes show with Delvin and get his backstory one day. I don't know when that's going to happen. But if you want to hear more of Delvin, we do have Strong Style with him and whoever he decides to have on, because I believe Donnie has taken a little brief hiatus, but the show must go on.
Yeah, we
So-
future endeavored Donnie's.
Oh,
Yeah.
Also, I should mention, hey Delvin, what was your thoughts about the tweet I made specifically for you this week?
Oh, it's about the Hulk Hogan tweet.
Yes.
Well, if he was killed in Resident Evil 8, we're fine with that. That's okay.
Yeah.
The brothers don't appreciate that, brother.
Yeah, for real.
I mean that's fair. Hulk Hogan's not a great person.
Not at
but
all.
also,
Yeah,
but also, for anyone who's unaware of the context and audio listeners, I tweeted a screenshot from Resident Evil 8 this week where I was in the dungeons. This was available in the maiden demo, like the first time the game was revealed. But there's blood on the wall that spells "Help me, brother," and I was like, "Damn, they got Hulk Hogan."
Yeah.
Not damn, but like, all right, they got Hulk Hogan.
Yeah,
Good job.
like,
Good
those
job.
vampire chicks ain't too bad, you know?
Yeah, you know what?
Yeah.
Might have to spare them. They did some good in this world.
Yeah.
I mean, I like that Hulk Hogan's one of the only wrestlers I know who they are, and I know he's a giant piece of shit.
Oh,
I don't know.
you
about-
live in Canada, and the only wrestler you know is Hulk Hogan.
I said
With
one
Chris-
of the only
Okay.
wrestlers I know,
Yeah.
not the only wrestler
Yeah,
I
but
know.
you know-
I was gonna say, you
You
don't
know-
know the Canadian crippler?
Chris Benoit, Chris Jericho, Bret Hart, who's like a
Mhm.
national treasure in Canada.
Right.
These people you should know.
Nope, I don't know any
Lance
of those.
Storm.
I-
Oh my God.
I know John Cena. I know Stone Cold Steve Austin. I know Dwayne the Rock Johnson used to be a wrestler.
How do you not know Bret Hart at least?
Yes.
I don't watch wrestling. I just know Hulk Hogan.
He is like a Canadian legend. He's like up there
For
with Wayne
real.
Gretzky. How do you not know Bret Hart?
Oh my God. Just for shame. Well, with our Patreon in mind, I'd like to give a shout out to our producers. Michael Basic, Barry Cathcart, Edwin Callow, Stephen Keller, Nick Creature, Rude Days 93, Ben Boxham, Rob Emanuel, Nick Valharbor, Paul Calicote, Kyle Heyman, Grouchy Surge, myself, Josh Bourbon, RJ Curran, Horse Girl 69, and Zachary Adams. Thank you all for joining us in the journey that is PSVG.
Do you know any of them?
Yeah, I know, right?
I mean, yeah, I know who they are. I also know CM Punk. There you go. There's another wrestler.
So you know no Canadian wrestlers. You don't know Chris Jericho. You don't know Kenny Omega. You don't know Bret Hart. You don't know nobody from your home, Canada.
It's like asking me if I know who plays on the Toronto Maple Leafs. Who? The only hockey player I knew by name also doesn't play for the team I knew him from. So like,
Wow.
Saku Koivu, by the way, doesn't play for Montreal anymore. So
Wayne Gretzky. You know who Wayne Gretzky
I was going to
is?
say Wayne Gretzky. Do you not know Wayne Gretzky?
Hall of Famer, but that's it.
Bret Hart's a Hall of Famer.
For real.
Hi, we have a museum, like a National Museum of Hockey in Toronto. I've been to that. I have not been.
I'm surprised Bret Hart's not in that as well. Just because.
Yes.
I have not been to a wrestling museum. I don't watch wrestling.
Oh, he should be in the Hockey Hall of Fame just because he's Bret Hart.
At one point, he wrote for y'all paper. Like he wrote like the news there and stuff.
Which paper?
I think it was in Montreal, I want to say.
Hi, I live in St. Catharines. This is about 400 kilometers from Montreal. I'm not getting
First of all, stop this kilometer stuff. You already know we don't know what the heck that means.
It's not 800 miles.
Thank you. You use miles on this show. We don't use this kilometer stuff. What are you talking about here?
Like my boy Chadwick Boseman said in Black Panther, we don't do that here.
With that in mind, Hayley, let the people know where they can find you.
You can find me over on Twitter at Shepard Zarel. Currently retweeting memes about Ethan Winters being a terrible character.
Not knowing anything about Canada's history.
You can find me on your game platform of choice at Hayley Zarel. Again, I think I need to re-stress this like every week at this point. If you're going to add me, please tell me you're a listener from the show or something. Blank friend requests when we have no mutual friends or games in common just aren't going to get accepted because generally they lead to me getting hate crimes on the network and I don't really want that. So it's happened far too often. I think my favorite one was when I was playing Rocket League and I was told to get off my boyfriend's Xbox. That was a fun time.
Lord.
So, yeah, please just tell me who you are and I'll gladly accept you. But if you send me a blank friend request and we've got no mutual friends, no. You can also find me on twitch.tv/Hayley Zarel. Again, Wrath of the Druids next week. Definitely going to stream that. Or this week, but I definitely want to stream Mass Effect. I'm still waiting on information for BioWare and whether or not I can do that. If it can't be done at launch but can be done after, I will start a separate save to do that on stream.
Excellent. And Delvin, where can the people find you, Mr. Vacation D?
You can find me on Twitter at Delvin_Cox. Check out the Delvin Cox Experience anywhere you get podcasts. And if you send me a blank message on the PlayStation Network, I don't ever answer them because usually they are the same message like, hey, you're looking for a good time? I'm like, no, I am not looking for a good time. Stop trying to solicit me in your illegal actions.
Okay, I haven't got any of those spam bot messages of like, hey, honey, looking for a good time since I started playing on the PS5. Used to get them all the time on the PS4, so I don't know if that's like a coincidence or whatnot, but I don't get those anymore. Don't know how you still are.
Well, I haven't gotten one in a while, to be fair.
They're trying to get that Delvin Cox experience. That's what it is.
Exactly. They're trying to get that Vacation D.
Jesus. Oh my God.
Yep. And you can find me at Dat Ninja Dev pretty much anywhere and everywhere. And with that, long live play.
PlayStation